In other religions you have God up there, we fall from God, and then we try to climb back. We try to climb back. We try to climb back. Through spiritual discipline, whatever, training, good deeds, and so on and so on. And so on and so on. The formula of Christianity is a totally different one. You don't climb to God. You are free in a Christian sense when you discover that the distance that separates you from God is inscribed into God Himself. That's why I agree with those intelligent theologists like my favorite, Chester, who said that the cross, the crucifixion, is something absolutely unique because in that moment of, Father, why have you abandoned me? For a brief moment, symbolically, God Himself becomes an atheist. God Himself becomes an atheist. Absolutely unique. You are free when you discover that the distance that separates you from God is inscribed into God Himself. You are free when you discover that the distance that separates you from God is inscribed into God Himself. It means that you are not simply separated from God. Your separation from God is part of divinity itself.
I was very interested in your comments about Christ's atheism on the cross, that final moment of atheism. That's something I'd never thought about in that way.
Chesterton orthodoxy.
It's a very interesting thought because it's an unbelievably merciful idea in some sense. That the burden of life is so unbearable. And you see in the Christian passion, torture, unfair judgment by society, betrayal by friends, and then a low death. That's about as bad as it gets. The story that you describe points out that it's so bad that even God Himself might despair about the essential quality of being. And so that is merciful in some sense, because it does say that there is something that's built into the fabric of existence that tests us so severely in our faith about being itself that even God Himself falls prey to the temptation to doubt.
You are free when you discover that the distance that separates you from God is inscribed into God Himself. You are free when you discover that the distance that separates you from God is inscribed into God Himself. And so on and so on.